Free thinkers are those who are willing to use their minds without prejudice and without fearing to understand things that clash with their own customs, privileges, or beliefs. This state of mind is not common, but it is essential for right thinking. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing himself. If you make it a habit not to blame others, you will feel the growth of the ability to love in your soul, and you will see the growth of goodness in your life. Wrong does not cease to be wrong because the majority share in it. Seize the moments of happiness, love and be loved. That is the only reality in the world. All else is folly. A man is like a fraction whose numerator is what he is and whose denominator is what he thinks of himself. The larger the denominator, the smaller the fraction. If you want to be happy, try only to please God, not people. Patience is waiting, not passively waiting. That is laziness, but to keep going when the going is hard and slow, that is patience. The two most powerful warriors are patience and time. When you love someone, you love the person as they are, and not as you'd like them to be. Real wisdom is not the knowledge of everything, but the knowledge of which things in life are necessary, which are less necessary, and which are completely unnecessary to know. Just as one candle lights another and can light thousands of other candles, so one heart illuminates another heart and can illuminate thousands of other hearts. Once we are thrown off our habitual paths, we think all is lost. But it's only here that the new and the good begins. The kinder and more intelligent a person is, the more kindness he can find in other people. Kindness enriches our life. With kindness, mysterious things become clear, difficult things become easy, and dull things become cheerful. If you're not enjoying your work, you should either change your attitude or change your job. Everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. Everything that I understand only because I love. What a strange illusion it is to suppose that beauty is goodness. Boredom, the desire for desires. Happiness consists of living each day as if it were the first day of your honeymoon and the last day of your vacation. Act as if you are, and you will become such. Love alone is the only reasonable activity or pursuit of humankind. For our love not only annihilates our fear of meaninglessness but empowers us to seek the happiness of others. And this indeed is our greatest happiness. Grow spiritually and help others to do so. It is the meaning of life. People try to do all sorts of clever and difficult things to improve life instead of doing the simplest, easiest thing, refusing to participate in activities that make life bad. It's not given to people to judge what's right or wrong. People have eternally been mistaken and will be mistaken, and in nothing more than in what they consider right and wrong. The highest wisdom has but one science, the science of the whole, the science explaining the whole creation and man's place in it. Faith is the force of life. Science is meaningless because it gives no answer to our question. The only question important for us: what shall we do and how shall we live? When you feel the desire for power, you should stay in solitude for some time. Upon meeting, you're judged by your clothes. Upon parting, you're judged by your wits. The only absolute knowledge attainable by man is that life is meaningless. When the suffering of another creature causes you to feel pain, do not submit to the initial desire to flee from the suffering one, but on the contrary, come closer, as close as you can to her who suffers, and try to help her. Better to know a few things which are good and necessary than many things which are useless and mediocre. The great tragedy of atheists is that they walk through this world and have no one to thank. The magnanimity and sensibility of a lady who faints when she sees a calf being killed. She is so kind-hearted that she can't look at blood, but enjoys eating the calf served up with sauce. Since corrupt people unite amongst themselves to constitute a force, then honest people must do the same. If you no longer believe in the God in whom you believed in before, this comes from the fact that there was something wrong with your belief, and you must strive to understand better that which you call God. A battle is won by him who is firmly resolved to win it. Woman is more impressionable than man. Therefore, in the golden age there were better than men. Now they're worse. Under the influence of music, it seems that I feel what I do not really feel, that I understand what I do not understand, that I do what I cannot do. People jump back and forth in pursuit of pleasures only because they see the emptiness of their lives more clearly than they do the emptiness of whichever new entertainment attracts them. Between the murder of an animal and the murder of a man, there's no more than one step. We can know only that we know nothing. And that is the highest degree of human wisdom. You see, if you take pains and learn in order to get a reward, the work will seem hard, but when you work, if you love your work, you will find your reward in that. In the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. There are no conditions to which a man cannot get accustomed, especially if he sees that everyone around him lives in the same way. Am I mad to see what others do not see? Or are they men who are responsible for all that I am seeing? The most mentally deranged people are certainly those who see in others indications of insanity they do not notice in themselves. Every heart has its own skeletons. If, then, I were asked for the most important advice I could give, that which I considered to be the most useful to the men of our century, I should simply say, in the name of God, stop a moment, cease your work, look around you. For if we allow that human life is always guided by reason, we destroy the premise that life is possible at all. There can be only one permanent revolution, a moral one, the regeneration of the inner man. Life could be limitless joy, if we would only take it for what it is, in the way it is given to us. God cannot be understood by logical reasoning but only by submission. All happy families resemble one another. Each unhappy family is unhappy in its own way. In order to get the power and retain it, it is necessary to love power, but love of power is not connected with goodness, but with qualities which are the opposite of goodness, such as pride, cunning, cruelty. Wealth is a great sin in the eyes of God. Poverty is a great sin in the eyes of man. Even in the valley of the shadow of death, to do not make six. We're asleep until we love. What I think about vivisection is that if people admit that they have the right to take or endanger the life of living beings for the benefit of many, there will be no limit to their cruelty. I don't allow myself to doubt myself even for a moment. Energy is based on love. By words one transmits thoughts to another. By means of art, one transmits feelings. Everything comes in time to him who knows how to wait. There is nothing stronger than those two, patience and time. They will do it all. In difficult circumstances, always act on first impressions. To get rid of an enemy, one must love him. Life is fragile and absurd. I say that the God who created the world in 6 days and who sent his Son, and also his Son himself, are not God, but that God is the one existing, incomparable good, the beginning of everything. Those whom God wishes to destroy he drives mad. Well, pray if you like, only you do better to use your judgment. To tell the truth is very difficult, and young people are rarely capable of it. And so he who looks down at his feet will not know the truth, but he who discerns by the sun which way to go. Everyone wants to change the world, but nobody wants to change himself. Something magical has happened to me, like a dream when one feels frightened and creepy, and suddenly wakes up to the knowledge that no such terrors exist. I have wakened up. Government is an association of men who do violence to the rest of us. Only people who are capable of loving strongly can also suffer great sorrow. But this same necessity of loving serves to counteract their grief and heals them. You consider war to be inevitable. Very good. Let everyone who advocates war be enrolled in a special regiment of advance guards for the front of every storm, of every attack, to lead them all